What's up guys, it's Squishy Joshi and welcome to the March edition of the Squishy Times. If anything feels a little bit different, that's because unfortunately we don't have access to Adobe anymore. But hopefully that will not stop me from creating a fun and engaging video for you guys. But before I continue, did you know that like 80% of you are still not subscribed? If you guys want to stay up to date with all of our fun design shenanigans, I would highly recommend that you guys just destroy that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can stay up to date with all the fun design content that we do here. Anyways, there's a lot to cover in this edition and I'm going to be giving you guys a bit of an update of where my head is sort of at with this channel and where I want to take it in the future. These are some reoccurring thoughts that do seem to pop up every now and then, and unfortunately every time that they do surface it seems to get a little worse, but also at the same time I seem to be able to deal with it a little bit better. So I don't know if that exactly makes sense, but it is what it is. So jumping right on into the Squishyverse news, are you a part of the Discord server yet? If you're not, click the link in the description or type in the link that you see down the bottom here. Now if you are on the Discord server, if you check out the VCs or the voice chats, you will notice that our soundboard has been updated with a lot of funny new sounds. So if you guys want to entertain yourselves in a voice chat, feel free to jump onto one of the voice chats and test out all the different sound bites that we've uploaded. And as I mentioned earlier, we currently do not have Adobe. So the way that I produce content and the rate of which I get content out will be a bit different to what it was before. I'm not sure when or if we're going to get it back anytime soon. But again, I'd like to reassure you guys that even without Adobe, I'm going to still try and get the best quality videos for you guys. Now, real quickly, I just want to talk about the future of this channel. Currently, I'm sitting with this thought that I am doing too much, and reflecting on that, it's kind of a weird one because a few years back I was doing even more and I was able to sort of manage it. But now that I'm starting to unpack all the different projects and things that I've started, I'm beginning to notice it's not sustainable, if that makes sense. And I kind of want to just show you an example of that. I recently used ChatGPT to visualize where my time is going currently and where I would probably like things to go. As you can see on the screen, that is sort of what I have to work with in terms of time. And I did put gym on there. I'm not currently going to the gym, but if I were, those would roughly be the times that I would be considering going to gym, just based on my schedule. As you can see, even when I'm not working a full-time job, it just seems like most of my time is already taken up by something, and it doesn't give me much time to spend with friends, doesn't give me much time to actually create and dedicate enough time to each of the projects that I have going. And if you're a follower of this channel, you would know that I have this channel, which is Squishy Joshi, which focuses a lot on design and creative content. And then I've got Awkward Convos, which is my music project. And I've got, just various other things that I'm doing as well. Like I'm trying to do live streams on Twitch as well, where I play the latest games. But when I think about everything that I've sort of done for each of these channels over the last 5 years, regardless of whether I put like heaps of effort into one thing, these projects aren't really getting to where I would have imagined them in those 5 years. And I think that's just got to do with time and resources. If you think about all the things that I have going on, they're just doing this. They're really like sort of staggering to grow and also sort of like fighting each other for attention. And I don't know if that's a very sustainable way to be growing my projects. Whereas the alternative would be if I could just completely focus on Awkward Convos, Squishy Joshi would be sort of a lesser priority. And then I just focus on Awkward Convos and bring that up. And then maybe if that gets to a certain level, then I can start bringing up all the other projects. Because right now it is a matter of time and resources. And I think the solution to this issue may be to just rearrange some priorities a little bit. And that kind of makes me sad because I really do want to be posting creative content on top of posting music content on the Awkward Convos page. But I don't exactly know if it is super sustainable right now. And on top of that, I'm kind of trying to figure out what you guys want to see from my content, if that makes sense. So if we're to bring it back to Squishy Joshi real quick, we've got gaming, we've got art and design, and we've got various like, variety content. And you guys have voted in a poll before, basically saying that you do like me to do variety content. But at the same time, if we, let's say, focus on art and design, there's sort of like a serious business aspect to art and design, as well as like the meme funny side. And you guys, the audience, have shown an interest in both. But then as I think about which one should take a priority, I'm starting to not really like the serious business side of it. And I think there is a lot more people in art and design who want serious. But then me personally, I want to do more of the fun stuff because I've just always been about fun. And thinking about primarily focusing on fun content versus serious and just maybe not doing serious content at all is kind of a weird one for me, because then it also feels like these news segments shouldn't be a thing anymore. But I've had fun making these news segments, so I don't know whether it should be like fun and vlogs. Maybe that's what I need to change the focus on for Squishy Joshi. And then when it comes to like the live streams, maybe not so much full playthroughs of games, but rather just more fun games like Supermarket Simulator or something like that, you know, like something that will be more entertaining, which is kind of what I want to lean more into. But anyways, yeah, those are some sort of big thoughts that I'm thinking of right now. And yeah, I would really like to know what you guys think, you know, moving forward, where we should sort of take the Squishy Joshi channel, or if we should just sort of pull back on Squishy Joshi and focus on awkward convos. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, but let's not dwindle on these serious thoughts much longer. Let's continue with the news that we have for today, because there is a lot. But just before I do wrap up that topic, it's kind of just like me wanting to do a whole sort of life audit. I want to be on top of all my stuff because I am getting older, unfortunately. But yeah, some of the things that I'm considering as well, you know, as I mentioned earlier on, you know, getting into gym because I want to get into a good physical shape and health, maybe even starting to read more and just spending less time off devices and stuff, even though I'm considering getting a Kindle as it's been highly recommended to me. And it'll be cool to sort of maybe get into some Dungeons and Dragons books, because I've been really enjoying Baldur's Gate 3, which is what I'm going to segue into now, because I just want to remind you guys that we are doing a Baldur's Gate 3 chaotic run on Twitch, and we've got some of our community members joining us for that. We have Brian and Jade, who have been an absolute blast to be playing the game with, and just having a little chaotic run is absolutely hilarious.
You can still loot her. I'm going to loot her because I want her armor.
Give me your armor, ho!
Take that.
Who wants the mace?
I'll take that.
I'm not even taking the underwear, bro. What the hell?
Then that might not happen.
Yeah, we've taken everything.
Yeah, someone's got her undies.
I'm standing right next to the person that has her undies. What are you talking about?
Astarion, why would you do that?
Blame it on the pervy elf.
So if you guys like Baldur's Gate 3, if you want to check out more of the live streams, head on over to twitch.tv/squishyjoshi, and we'll be streaming Baldur's Gate 3 every Thursday from 1:30 p.m. until we finish the game. At the time of recording this video, we just got through most of the Goblin Camp, so if you want to see any further shenanigans that we get up to, feel free to check it out. Now, a couple weekends ago, I was invited by our Discord mod Lawrence to the races at Rosehill Racecourse, and that was sort of my first real sort of experience at a racecourse, and I suppose you could say betting, but we won't really get into that in this video. But you know, in content creator fashion, here are some of the photos that we took at the event. I think this is my favorite one, and of course we all got some solo shots as well. Now, another big piece of news that you guys should probably know is that I am going to Dreamhack this year. So Dreamhack is a fun little gaming convention, also a convention for cosplayers. It's going to be my first time attending a Dreamhack event and even going to Melbourne, so it's going to be an interesting one. My mate Philmeister Gaming is also going along as well, and a bunch of the content creators that I met at the Twitch meetup last month should also be going as well. But yeah, I can't wait for that. Hopefully we get a chance to, you know, take some photos and maybe even do a live stream from there, or maybe just like a little voice chat in the Discord server where I can take you guys around the venue, so that could be fun. Now let's move on to Awkward Convos news, guys. I have a new single coming out on the International Day of Human Spaceflight. That is April 12, which is basically a couple Fridays from now. Guys, it would mean a lot to me if you would hit the pre-save button on the link in the description, or if you type out the link here that's on screen. Would greatly appreciate it. Those of you who pre-save it will basically get to hear it ahead of everyone else. And yeah, I'm excited to get this one out. I literally just wrote it like a couple weeks back, and I thought, hey, this is one of my better songs. I should just fast track it. The song is called Astronomical, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Also, we got our first Shazam ever. That's crazy thinking about that. Someone out there in the world heard my song and was like, what song is that? And then Shazammed it. That's crazy. It's just one Shazam, but like, you know, for me, who's just basically starting out, that's pretty cool. And we also got our first royalty payment ever. It literally was like $2, but you know, I feel like that's a sign for change. I think that's one of the core messages of this news video. I'm really sort of thinking about change. Also, the remix album for Floxenos and Nihilipilification may have a very long delay. I mean, I was planning to get it out maybe a couple months ago, and it just hasn't been going according to plan. There are a couple of songs that still need to be done, and people just didn't deliver. So I'm just putting that on hold at the moment because I have to do the whole Melbourne trip first, and then once that's all done, I can start planning other things. So the Floxenos and Nihilipilification remix will be delayed until further notice. Now, in other news, there has been some tech developments. There is a new robot called Figure 1. Let's do a little reaction to it.
See a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great.
I'll just stop it there, but you guys get the idea. You can check the link down in the description if you want to watch the full video. But basically, yeah, it's a robot that has ChatGPT in it. And yeah, the next couple of years are going to get very interesting when it comes to robotics and AI. That sort of technology is developing quite fast now. Be on the lookout for that. Who knows where they're going to start popping up. Now, in games news, a new Pokemon was announced. It's called Pokemon Z to A, which was announced in late February, but I wasn't able to talk about it in my last news video. So if you're a Pokemon fan, it is another Legends game. And to be honest, it looks pretty cool. I've played most of the Pokemons in my life, and I did sort of get into Power World, but now played it for a bit, and I feel like I didn't get very far in it, and I feel like the hype for it has kind of dropped down. So I'm probably going to move on from Power World. But yeah, this new Pokemon seems pretty cool. Helldivers 2. Now, oh my goodness, Helldivers 2 is a fantastic game. I did mention it in my previous news video where I was just sort of like, I don't know much about the game. I haven't heard the greatest things about it, but once I got it, oh my goodness, that is a game you can just keep replaying. And that takes me back to the days of Left 4 Dead 2. I had that same sort of feel with Left 4 Dead 2. It's not a common feel that I get with games nowadays. Every time it's always different. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun, especially with friends. We have streamed it a couple of times as well, but I've noticed the performance of that game on stream doesn't seem to be great. The last time I streamed it, it did lag like tremendously, but when I stopped streaming it, like the performance was just back to near perfect again. So yeah, it is a absolutely cracker of a game. If you do not have it, you should get it. I'm looking at you guys on the Discord server as well. Like, come on guys. There's also a rhythm game called Hi-Fi Rush, which I've seen Natalisi play, and honestly, I feel like that is a game that I may enjoy. I'm not big on rhythm games, but given the context of that game and sort of the world that it's set in, I feel like it might be something that I might want to try out. Stay tuned on the Twitch channel because I may just stream it. And speaking of Natalisi, she also played F1 23, and I was never into sports that much, but after attending the races and after seeing Natalisi play F1 23, I feel like it's sort of awakening a bit of a sporty era, and now I'm somewhat into F1, not like fully, but like I'm sort of like getting into it. So I don't know, maybe I should play F1 23 as well. Got a bunch of friends who have the game, so it might be interesting to play it with them. There's also a game called Supermarket Simulator, which I feel like would be a great game for me to play on stream. Some of you guys know that I do work in retail in a supermarket, and I feel like because of that fact, it might be a great idea to play that on stream. So stay tuned as well for the streams. I feel like I will play that on stream at some point. Another game also just recently got announced. Actually, 2 Marvel games got announced. There was the one with Captain America and Black Panther. I think it's 1941 or something. Marvel 1941 with Captain America and Black Panther. That one looks kind of interesting. I think it's a 4-player co-op, so it would be kind of cool to see a Marvel game in that sort of context. And of course, also just the other day, Marvel Rivals was announced, and it basically looks like Marvel made its own Overwatch. And they put a bunch of interesting looking characters together. I don't know exactly how many characters they plan to have on the game. I hope, because there's some of the main characters are actually missing from the game. Like I don't remember seeing Thor and Captain America, not even Wolverine. Like you know some of the big Marvel characters weren't in there, and then they included the Emma Frost character or whatever, and it was just like, okay, I mean, I know she's a new character that people like because of the sort of K-pop hype, but yeah, I'm surprised that there weren't some of the more main Avengers included. Even Ant-Man, that would be an interesting addition to that game. But yeah, Marvel's Overwatch, or Overwatch 3 maybe, who knows. I enjoyed Overwatch, and now that they've got a game where it's basically Overwatch but with Marvel characters, I mean, I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of sold, but I know there's a lot of like sort of backlash. Like everyone out there's probably just been like, what, so it's just another Paladins or Overwatch with Marvel characters? That's it? Come on guys. Some of us actually like Marvel, not so much DC, but like we like our superhero characters and movies. So yeah, it could be an interesting little game. Who knows how popular it will be on launch. Really depends on, I guess, you know, if people are bored of Overwatch and they want a whole range of new characters, they want to see what it would be like for Marvel characters to be in an Overwatch context. Yeah, I think hopefully it will have a good reception on release. That's it for games news. Moving on to music news. Like music lovers and appreciators, music connoisseurs, we are eating good this month because so much has been dropped by very prolific artists. Some of my favorites. There's a new 21 Pilots album announced called Clancy. It's a bit of a return to their trench sound, which is amazing. That was one of their best albums. And they dropped 2 singles so far, Overcompensate, which is just a great little reggae sort of pop rap tune, typical of 21 Pilots. But then they've also got Next Semester, which is the second single, and oh boy, that song slaps. It's got the switch up that just feels right. It just feels right. It's like a bit of a pop punk-ish sort of vibe, and then it just kind of goes a little bit Joji. You'll know what I mean if you think about Joji's song Run and Gimme Love. That's what I'm getting from that, and it's just a banger. Check them out. There's a new San Cisco album, and one of the highlight tracks from that is Summer Days, which also seems to feature Nicholas Albrook, the lead singer of Pond. I would imagine that maybe he was involved in the songwriting. I don't exactly know, but yeah, that song gets played basically everywhere right now. It's been played in Woolworths. Yeah, it's a fun little tune, especially the little instrumental breakdown towards the end of the song, but pretty much the whole album is good, so go check it out. There's a whole new album by Everything, also I think another return to form, plus they are touring as well. So this is your chance to actually go see Everything, because I don't think they've ever toured Australia until now. So yeah, check out Mountainhead by them, a great album. Now some of you may know that I'm a big fan of Birds of Tokyo and Carnival, and recently they've done a collab with Northlane, and the song is called After Image. It is a huge banger. A bit of, if you're not into people screaming, maybe won't be for you, but instrumentally it's one of the most interesting and exciting pieces of metal that I've heard in a while, so check that one out. We've got new Kings of Leon. They've got an album coming out called Can We Please Have Fun, and the single that they've dropped is called Mustang. It's a great little track. I hope you check it out, especially if you're a Kings of Leon fan. They've been a band that's been around for a while, and they've got some great songs as well. There's also a new Porter Robinson song called Cheerleader, and apparently he's got a new album done already. I feel like that was a lot quicker than the gap between Worlds and his second album, but yeah, check out Cheerleader. It is a really cool little hyper pop track. I don't know if hyper pop is the right genre to describe it, but that's how it feels to me, and it just gets right into it. It's fun. We love fun here. And finally, there is a new Pond song. They've announced their headline tour as well, and their album Stung, which also seems to have in the track listing some songs that reference older albums. And having listened to the second single that they just dropped called I'm Stung, I have very high hopes for this record. They recently just went on an Australian tour with Queens of the Stone Age, and now they're going to be headlining in Sydney for the Vivid Festival that will be happening in the middle of the year. And since it's Vivid, who knows what's going to be the situation with the lighting. There could be some special lighting involved. It's going to be at Carriage Works. I've seen Pond live about 4 or 5 times now. Every time that I've gone to see them, I've been first in line. Not trying to brag, but I hope that just gives you an indication of how excited I am to attend a Pond concert, and I feel like you guys should get into it as well. They are closely related to Tame Impala, like some of the members of Pond have performed in Tame Impala's band before, or currently, and if you're a fan of Tame Impala, like, come on, just support their little brother or sister band out. And yeah, that's probably going to be about it for this news video. I hope you guys got something out of it. Of course, feel free to leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. I'm sure there was a bunch of other things that I may have left out for this month. I mean, there was even a short film for the Spider-Verse movies. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, you can keep up to date with all of our different social channels. Everything is in the description. Also, you can join the Discord server to hear of everything first through there, because you get notified through, the @everyone tags and whatnot. I would strongly recommend, just popping in and saying hello. Anyways, I won't keep you guys for too much longer. I hope you have a fantastic Easter, and hopefully we'll see you next time with an update of things that have happened at Dreamhack and much more. I'm assuming April is going to be just as eventful as March was. On top of our new single Astronomical that's coming out mid-April, we will be working on further songs, so yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot of things happening, but good things, and I'm trying to stay motivated. I'm trying to stay positive. But anyways, this is Squishy Josie signing out for the March edition of the Squishy Times. Bye for now.